The first thing I want you to name into your head is that it's always a felony charge. That's the first thing you have to know. It's always a felony charge. Secondly, secondly, the public servant is not being charged with bribery. It's the person making the offer. All right? So, what I'm trying to ask you is, can a cop be charged with bribery? Oh, no. Okay, very good. I have good gas so far. The person offering it, with in most cases, you're going to assume it's a civilian, especially when it's got in the testing world, it's going to be a civilian, right? They can be charged with bribery. The public servant cannot be charged with bribery. Agreed?
Fish.
Yes. Yes, and you see why I'm saying no. It's just a big one. Stay with me now. You're trying to drive this car.
So driver safety.
You guys are trying to get this thing 93 miles an hour.
It's called driver safety.
Yo, come on, come on. All right, so I'll give you a quick example of bribery, right? I'll give you a quick example of bribery. The one time that I had a bribe thing in my career. So it was 4 bribes recent, right? We had you guys see when you get out there, had to know people, right? People that we know, VPs, and they're just always around, know by name, so on and so forth. You know that at any point in time, the fact that they're breathing means that they're warranted to get arrested, okay? So everything's cool. But one day, I'm at 7-Eleven. And fun fact, I would go to 7-Eleven every day before going 98, and I would get a lean body and a Sour Patch, right? A bag of Sour Patch. So one day I'm at 7-Eleven getting my lean body, my Sour Patch, and my coffee, and I'm just chilling there. And in walks Norma. That's her name, right? Little wiry, skinny lady, right? Who's always losing her mind up and down the street, being a track, right? I'm chilling, trying to get my stuff, whatever it may be. And Norma comes in. Let's see.
Yeah.
You got $20. I'm like, I don't have $20. Norma, please leave me alone. Meanwhile, in my head, I'm like, she got like 7 warrants right now, or like 13 PCI cards. Like, I'm like, right? She said, please, come on, give me $20, 5%. And I'm like, no, Norma, right? And then I'm like, oh, but you know you have warrants, right? Like, get away from me. I can lock you up. And she looks around too. I said, okay, clear. I laughed. And then I went back and said, she got no teeth. Anyway. But you guys will see when you get out there third semester, right? Sometimes you just gotta run the other way. Right? Yeah, third semester doesn't get it.
Sniper class. Class?
All right, a more serious example, right? A more serious example. Let's say someone gets pulled over, right? Somebody gets pulled over, and the person is about to receive a summons from whatever it may be. And they look at the officer and say, listen, officer, how about who's with the guy? Right? That's the example of bribery. Now, a third very important point that you have to understand. Right? We're going to talk about it in a second, but I want to plant the seed right now in your head. The act is already committed when the offer is made. All right? So it does not have to be completed for the person to be charged with the bribery. As soon as they make the offer, the crime is completed. Fish?
Fish.
You know, give me $250 if you don't give me the summons. Bribery is done. They have just committed a felony. All right? The officer does not need to accept. Let's see. What did they what? Right? If they slide on your license, that's absolutely this. Just because they're not verbalizing it doesn't mean that they're not going to do this. I would assume the understanding in sliding me a couple $100 underneath your license when I ask your license registration means that you think I'm going to take that money and leave you alone. Bribery felony.
No, and like in case like you pull over somebody and then you give them like a summons, and then they say, "Oh, I'll give you $250 if you don't give me this ticket, whatnot," and you add an additional charge of bribery, felony to it, or
Of course. You arrest them for bribery felony and you write them the summons anyway. That'd be the appropriate measure to take. We're good on bribery?
Yes.
That way you just said, there is no such product. It's not a private, right? So it's not the
Yes, sir.
filter, you on. It has, please respond. Each. Okay, doke. This is what we just said, right? This is what we just said. If you want a fancy way to write it down, write what the PowerPoint says, but it's literally what I just told you. As soon as the offer is made, the crime is completed. All right, the crime is completed. Okay, what's the matter with man?
Everybody here.
They want it.
They really want to take this quiz.
That's not fun. It's dangerous, here, man. So the dog. I don't really think I've seen any attempted on the test. Maybe it was Roger help me through that.
They're gonna keep from an answer to the wood seed.
Hey, look, you're done in that part. We're talking about bribe receiving. Bribe receiving is the other charge.
Let's go back up to that video. Done.
Exactly right. It is the charge completed with the offer made. Right? The charge completed with the offer made. All right, bribe receiving felony. Bribe receiving felony. So what did we get charged with if we accept the bribe? Here it is. Bribe receiving. Also always a felony charge. And bribe receiving also always must be a felony charge. And it's going to be public servant. Accept, or agree to accept a benefit from another person upon agreement or understanding that their discretion as a public servant will be influenced. Again, if you're putting in gas, you will realize one sentence, it is not 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what is this saying? Right? It's saying that anytime a public servant accepts a bribe, right, or asks for something, it can be charged with bribe receiving. It's important that you understand, asking for it is also bribe receiving. All right, so that's a car stop scenario. Right? The person you stop doesn't say, I'll give you $250. Right? But you, the cop, are like, yo, listen, you give me $250, I'll let this go. Let's go. Let's go. That's bribe receiving. Understand? They ask for it, it's bribe receiving. Now, again, just to reiterate, super easy to distinguish the two. Bribe is the person getting charged with it, not the public servant. The only person who will get charged with bribe receiving is a public servant. All right? The only person who can get charged with bribe receiving is a public servant. Sure? Father? No, bro. All right, so don't keep it. Okay, and remember, this report, you have to remember, they can ask for it. Right? The public servant can ask for it. They ask for it, it sweeps in front. Like that scene in Super Cooper, you got Super Cooper? Yeah. You got the lady pulled over and she's like, good day. You know what I'm saying?
This is a felony charge. So when they automatically offer these loans, it's already a felony charge. They don't whether or not discretion to charge that person or should I do it? You know, it's
So tell me, man, you've learned about when you have discretion or not. Operational, right? Discretion, and what's the other one? Forget. Policy discretion. Operational discretion and policy discretion, misdemeanors, felonies. Do you have discretion as well?
so on the spot, so it's always like, you're going in.
Hey, this is actually, yeah, we can talk about it. Discuss about that. We're thinking about this and go to the
First.
It could be any benefits. Like I said, right at the beginning, you guys all laugh and see where paying attention. It could be money. It could be cheese. It could be computer products. It could be whatever. Right? So again, any kind of benefit would fall under this. Ivy does integrity tests all the time. Right? They do integrity tests all the time. So yes, they will try. I've never personally been subject to one or got caught on one, but they will try to do this. That's how they make that test. That's a good question. I don't know if they know they have to know you're a public servant in order for that to be in effect. So, man, you've been learning about everything that's required to do police officers scan. Our body cams must be on whenever we take any kind of police action or any kind of. Like, say, the example of the store. Oh, yeah, no, I was fine that, so I was trying to get out of there. They don't learn working though. That was a police action. That was a police action, right? There wasn't a job there. I wasn't approaching her pretty fair. The week she approached me. Now they need to hightail that.
So for that officer, you know that video where the officer arrested a female and she offered to have intercourse and the officer went in the back. This scenario, both of them would be charged on bribe and deceit.
Correct. Right?
No matter who made the offer first. You just,
Correct. She gets bribery and they get bribery proceeding for example. Fish? Just please. The easiest way to distinguish these two so you don't get confused. Right? Again, if you're not listening, if you're like Rosado right now, who's praying to the Lord, right? If you're so one thing I need to remember, bribery
Train to the train station.
bribe receiving is the public servant. Right? Bribery is a civilian, bribe receiving is the public servant. If all else fails you, please just remember that. And now, if I remember correctly, this will remind me that April test, the entire second semester exam came from this chapter. The entire law 47 came from this chapter. They asked 1 million bribery questions.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Integrity.
You're doing the job.
Huge.
Let's talk about official misconduct. Again, another thing I need to remember. Similar to the last chapter, when I said
Thank you.
it's always in misdemeanor, listen to me again. Official misconduct is always in misdemeanor. Please don't fall into the trap of your own filthy brain, right here. Official misconduct. Well, this must be a big deal. No, it's always a misdemeanor charge. Official misconduct is always a misdemeanor charge. And whatever, a public servant with intent to obtain a benefit or deprive another of a benefit. They commit an act relating to their official function, knowing it is unauthorized, act of commission, or they knowingly do not perform their lawful duty, act of omission. All right, so I'll give you guys examples of official misconduct now so you understand what an act of commission is or an act of omission. But again, this is with the intent to obtain a benefit or deprive another benefit. So we'll do active commission first, which is committing an act relating to their official function, knowing it's unauthorized. Right? Have you guys seen any lawful stolen property before yet?
No.
Yet?
No. Probably.
You eventually make the report right to the semester, right? So then I'll report right over and over again. You don't have to all report. It's a loss of stolen property sheet. And on the loss of stolen property sheet, what we do as police officers is we document everything that has been lost or stolen. And if it's approximately value, and whether it is lost or stolen, yada yada yada. Okay? At the end of that, each day, the entire values of everything that has been lost or stolen, we add it up, and we decide whether it's a credit larceny, a grand larceny, or just lost property. Alright? So let's say, for example, Okay? This is my home, right? We go up and on the job, we're fitting out. So,
And Evan.
Get it together.
after a minute now, someone breaks into Evan's car, they take his laptop, right? Let's say a brand new Apple laptop, $250.
Damn.
I'm taking the report, and Evan says, yo, listen, I got this insurance policy, right? Where it's like I have more than $1,000 stolen out of my car. I get brand new windows all around and a brand new laptop and a whole new Rolex. Or whatever. Right? He's like, can you make it cost $1,000? So on the report, I said, you know what? You also had his brand new Gucci wallet stolen for $52 worth of value. Bringing in a total of $1,002. Knowing that that wallet was not stolen.
Mm.
Right? In order to inflate the report to a grand larceny so that he can claim his insurance. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's commission.
Perjury.
Right? I'm doing my job. Right? I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm doing something added to it, or may or may not be true, right? In order to benefit myself, benefit somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Right? So I'm forced to help the homie out.
Fish.
Makes sense? That's an act of commission.
Is that also perjury? Would that also be perjury or
Well,
no?
if you went to court and have to testify, that could be perjury. But also in the official document, if you lie, yes, it could be perjury. All right, so again, all right, so that would be official misconduct plus perjury, so on and so forth. Okay, so that would be an example of act of commission, official misconduct to me. Now, act of omission is when someone knowingly does not conform their lawful duty. Right? I love to tell the story because it's going to happen to you guys someday, I promise.
Oh no.
All right. 2021. Over to 2020. Anyway, 2020, day 5 control. 9/6/2020. Right, day 5 control, about to swing out. My birthday is 9/7.
Mm-hmm.
My partner and I, we have 5 boys, we get a call. Yeah, 5 boys receiving 34 family. It's 3:14.
Yeah.
4 to 12 stops taking down at 23:50. So she's like, yeah, put it on computer. We're like, great. We have to go. We go to the job, right? It is very clearly 125% a column. Right? There's no way around it. So I tell my partner, I said, hey, bro, tomorrow's my birthday, so we what? Really? And he's like, now what can I do my wife's mom? And I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna miss my birthday. He's like, but I got something to do with my wife. And I'm like, oh, this is my kid. Just sort of feeling stuff back. It's my birthday, so. He's like, but I got something to do with my wife. He said, you want her to leave me? I said, who's my best friend? I said, I don't know what you do. So I took the collar. Right? But an act of commission would be, for example, right? We stand there and we say, all right, it's my birthday. You got something to do with your wife, so we're not doing this. Hey, you two, figure it out. We out. Act of omission. We didn't do our job. Right? That would be considered official misconduct. Okay? Knowing that we were supposed to effect an arrest, we did not effect the arrest. That is an act of omission. We did not perform our lawful duty. Peace?
Fish.
Make sense?
Misdemeanor.
So I actually my question is, let's say we're gonna get charged for property, for whatever reason. You also have to discharge. That's all.
Yeah.
So the fact you don't get it in.
Yes, officer.
Peace?
Question.
Oh, my man, again, you're trying to get to 93 miles an hour. Mine's good at 90 miles an hour. If the shoe fits, brother, I didn't say anything. If the shoe fits, I didn't say anything else. I didn't say nothing about McDonald's. Not possible. Rewarding official misconduct. So now listen. There's two more official misconduct. The charge itself of official misconduct is 40%. But the two charges dealing with it are felony charges. So official misconduct itself is always a misdemeanor, but the true charges dealing with it are always felony charges. The first, rewarding official misconduct. Rewarding official misconduct. Defines penal law as when a person gives or agrees to give a benefit to a public servant for violating their duty. So I'll go back to my example with Evans for this one, right? So you guys know, I gave you the report for Evans, so he can get that insurance claim, right? He comes back, he's like, yo, you won't believe it. The insurance said if the laptop is worth way more than $9,000, they have to break you off to the G for helping me out. He just does. It's rewarding official misconduct. Okay, you get charged with rewarding official misconduct. Right on. Similar to bribery and bribe receiving. What's the only person that can be charged for rewarding official misconduct?
Public servant.
Civilian.
I mean, civilian.
You need civilian. They're the ones that report. The civilian. Anyway, you're on a tap close. The apple. What?
Explain.
I don't know anything. I'm trying to keep writing notes. Yeah. But I think what you're saying is right, because I have a little bit of dumb in my brain.
Big bribe.
I'm trying to translate it. If you're saying like, yo, you're gonna trick people, like, yo, listen, I already have this person on your arrest, they'll give me $250 so I can let you go. And they're like, oh yeah, you got it. And you're like, I got you the bribery charge. And I'm like,
That's what he asked.
That's more of what he was asking.
sometimes you have to yourself these dumb shoes. All right, receiving reward for official misconduct. Receiving reward. Receiving reward is going to be a felony as well, like I said. We're talking about official misconduct charges that deal with official misconduct. They're both felonies. And you have rewarding and receiving reward. Okay. Now again, I'm going to reiterate. See the word receiving. Who's going to hear with this?
Public servant.
Public servant is going to be the one hit with the receiving charge. Both for bribery and official misconduct awards, all right? It's going to be the public servant. You see the word receiving, it's going to be the public servant. If you see the word receiving, it's going to be the public servant. If you see the word receiving, it's going to be the public servant. And just in case you don't understand that, if the example is the public servant getting some benefit, it's going to be receiving. If the example is the public servant getting some benefit, it's going to be receiving. If the example is the public servant getting some benefit, it's going to be receiving. That calculates all times now.
Wait, what'd you say?
And again, the public servant solicited the second of 3% benefit for having violated the duty. So in that scenario, right? Evan, we're going back to that example. He breaks me off a G, says, yo, they give me $5,000 here, he's for you, for helping me out. And I say, hell yeah. How many of you need to go to Puerto Rico? Give you reward for physical conduct. Yes. Okay, so remember, these charges don't have to be parceled away. Right? So now, when it comes to bribe receiving, it's not exactly the same. Okay? Because when it comes to habitual misconduct, the belief is some sort of misconduct occurred already. right? So the publisher had already violated their duty. When it comes to bribery and privacy, they haven't violated their duty yet. But the person making an offer so that they do. You know what I'm saying? All right, we're good?
Last bad act.
Try to deal with official misconduct, deal with bad things that the most people do.
Bad
It's not good thing. Right? It's not really hard.
Not good thing.
Whenever you think of also doing something that all related to the job or any public service, it's like that. Not to be a public, which is conduct, what is conduct or receiving. Yeah.
Fish?
Fish.
Faster. All right, so giving them opportunities is their next charge. Giving them opportunities is their next charge, or giving them opportunities is a misdemeanor charge. All right, so it's be a misdemeanor charge. Now, if you're cooking with gas, what does opportunity mean? Tip, right? If you look at the restaurant bill, you say, suggested security, right? 15, 20, 25%, whatever it may be. Right? Security, we're talking about tip. So it's important to understand. Think about it this way. Like Detective Cooper just said, when it comes to misconduct, we're thinking about a bad act. Police officer has done something bad. When it comes to gratuity charges, we're thinking about a good act. Right? We're thinking about a good act. The person only offers kids, at least kids, some benefits to a public servant for doing their job. Right? You probably don't have you'll never have any experiences with this, but you will. All right, I have one time I'll never forget. My partner and I were covering a gate tour. I don't know why. I was covering a gate tour on Sunday morning. And it was first fall of the day, like 22. We came over on Doggy and food. Doggy and things went through the vehicle. We got there and some guy standing there and he's like, yo, they stole my car. And we're like, oh, nice, bro. But we had some observations because we were intelligent police officers. He's decked up to the nines, very clearly coming out of somewhere. Some kind of party, right? And he reeks of alcohol. So we're like, yeah, ain't nobody stole the guy's car. He forgot where he parked it. You don't get the car, go to the get the car, we do canvas, right? Where do we find the car? Inside the highway. We passed the car. So we must have realized, like, yo, I'm lit, got out of the car, got my car, thank you. I thought it was stolen. I get back to Boston tonight. Yada, yada, yada. He's like, you guys are the best. Whips out $200. Thank you for your help. I was like, dog, where you from, man? You don't tip the cops. You don't tip the cops, sir. Like, we did our job. We're just helping you. Right? Keep your money. Don't get in that car from the college for beauty. Right? But that's giving unlawful securities. He was trying to tip us for helping him, for doing a good act. See what I'm saying? Different. Another example. Right, again, you guys know I'm a youth officer. McDonald's and youth. Yes? This particular McDonald's in Washington Square had a nightmare problem with youth until one day we finally handled it. Okay? And we took like 4 bodies out in there and all this good stuff. The youth never going back in there. It was great. McDonald's manager was so mean. He's like, yo, anytime you come in McDonald's, you eat for free. For example, of unlawful gratuity. We're just doing our job, right? We cannot accept that free food all the time. We cannot accept the free food.
What if you give $1?
It's not free.
Listen. Anyway. Unlawful gratuity. All right, got it? Good. It makes sense?
But they haven't got arrested.
Okay. Huh? I don't think I've ever seen giving unlawful gratuity ever charged. No, this isn't only for businesses, right? So
Just get them.
that guy decided to try and tip us. That would be this. It would be appropriate.
What if you like,
Yeah. For doing your job or just because?
maybe just because? No.
Just because it's different. This is for doing your job. This is for a good act. This is like, oh, officer, you did this for me. Here, this is for you. Right? So you're saying like you show up to domestic violence jobs and smoke out la Latina, it's like, you got my nice voice out of there. You tell my girl, my umbrella.
Happy.
Yo, he's
Why? It's car, you know, I said, don't get in that car when you're trying to steal you. He stood there until we left.
That's crazy.
Just
All right, receiving unlawful gratuity. Right, again, you see the word receiving? This graphic is super easy to understand. It feels like there's a lot of jargon, there's really not. You see the word receiving? Who's getting charged? Officer. All right, so officer takes that. That's it. All right, they accept that gratuity. They give you receiving unlawful gratuity. Yes, Mr. Always. Yes, Mr. Always. Gratuity, Mr. Always. Good. Mental. So the thing, bush ladders. But I like to say what I hear again when you know that guy behind his car. Right? Let's say I keep up behind his car, he assesses and they listen. Put a lot of effort to help find his car. I think he kind of knows the biggest. At that point in time, I didn't make no statements to that guy. But the he started, but receiving. Receiving. Not personal. You know, there's and privacy.
official misconduct.
Privacy. Is they offer none of. It's,
oh, good act.
well, official account is also focused, but initially is when you live. Why? Because it says a police, a public servant solicit. What is solicit mean?
Ask.
He did a good job. He do his job properly by helping the guy find his car. Yeah, so he did a good act. Now he's trying to solicit for doing that good job. He's asking for intent. If